You're listening to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 1. Today's guest is Rubi Skilton, and we'll be talking about her limb difference, embracing the life you have, and how parents play a role in our badassery. Stay tuned to hear her badass story.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Today's guest is Rubi Skilton. Rubi, thanks so much for being on here. Excited to have you on the show. First off, before we go any further, I have to ask you, do you consider yourself to be ordinary or badass?
I think I'm gonna go with badass. I'll say I'm a badass, and I feel like we all have the potential to be badasses.
Awesome. I love that. Have you always felt like a badass?
No. And I feel like that's something we all struggle with, feeling like ordinary. So, but we're all badasses once we start taking control of our life and our story.
I love that. Totally agree. So, Rubi, will you share a little bit about you and give some of the details about your bio?
For sure. So, like you said, my name's Rubi Skilton. I am a self-love and confidence coach. I was born with a limb difference, so that's different for everyone. For me, it just means that I have an arm and a half, and I have a total of 7 fingers. For the longest time, I was ashamed of that story without even knowing I was ashamed of it. So I would hide my story through wearing long sleeves all the time and trying to hide my difference. And it was something that I wasn't even aware I was doing it. I just subconsciously did it. I wore long sleeve for about 12 years. And the long sleeve finally came off. I want to say 9 months ago.
So it came off on accident or on purpose?
No. So it's about the time I started doing a bunch of self-development work. And I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I'm from Texas, which is 100 plus degrees all the damn time. And I moved to Southern California, which is so hot too. So I was like, why am I still wearing a long sleeve? What am I doing? Right. So I took the step to just be like, okay, I'm going to wear a short sleeve today and go in public and just embrace who I am. And I did it. And now we're here and it's been incredible. It's been an incredible journey through it. I started my own podcast and I started a blog. So it's just been really, really fun. And now I get to teach people how to do that.
Nice. So was that pretty empowering then, the first time that you walked out wearing short sleeves?
It definitely was. So for me, it was kind of like I did not want to wear short sleeve around people I would see every day. So coworkers or classmates when I was still in high school, which is weird because they know the situation, you know? But I had no problem showing my difference to people I would never see again. So if I was on vacation, I didn't wear long sleeve, if that makes any sense. So it's super interesting. You would think that I'd be comfortable with people I see every day, but it was quite the opposite. I tried to avoid any questions and just kind of live my life, whatever. But yeah, and I think growing up, my mom never made me feel different. It was always if I wanted to try basketball or gymnastics, I did it. So I was out there. So my difference was something that we didn't really talk about. And it was just normal. And that's why it happened so subconsciously. Because I wasn't aware that I was ashamed of it.
That's so cool. And that's something I think all parents out there can take into consideration. You know, they are the ones that make the difference. If they make it something to make you feel like you're different, that's on them, how they show their child that they can act or use their, their body and their skills.
For sure. And I think every parent should be careful what they say and what they even do. Like, you know, a parent looking in the mirror every day and being like, oh my God, I'm so fat. Like, your younger children or your children in general notice those things, and they're going to grow up being like, oh, I'm so fat, you know, and that's not a message we want to be spreading.
Yeah, I'm over here nodding my head. I totally agree because we mimic what our parents do and say. Totally.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So will you share with us something that you're most proud of accomplishing?
Of course. So I could think of a few. I actually was journaling this morning, and I was just journaling on how grateful I was for everything I've been able to accomplish at just 23 years old. But I think one of the biggest ones is that when I first moved to LA, I moved out here to do music and to inspire people through music. So when I was here, when I just moved in my first year, I got to attend the Grammys and work with one of my favorite artists, and it was just so crazy. So I think that's one of my bigger wins, like superficial wins.
Uh-huh.
But if we're trying to go a bit deeper, I think the long sleeves coming off was one of the biggest ones. And the first time I posted on social media a full body picture showing my limb difference.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Can you share with us something that most people don't know about what it took for you to accomplish that moment?
Yeah, so I always wanted to, well, I always post like selfies and stuff on social media, but like the full body picture showing my limb difference and actually addressing my limb difference was such a battle within myself. Like I contemplated making a whole new social media account so that like old friends and family would not like see it. I don't know, it was just a very emotional like week of contemplating on whether or not I should post that image, which is sad. And I feel like a lot of us have that struggle that we're like, oh my God, like I look kind of weird in this photo, or I don't want them to see my acne or my weight gain or whatever. And it's so sad that society has trained us to feel that way about our bodies and about our story. So yeah, it took a lot of mental preparation, and I was like, you know what, someone needs to hear this, someone needs to see this. I wish there was someone out there that posts their story when I was growing up, you know.
Yeah, totally. What would you say to somebody else who's going through the same thing or debating the same thing?
Just do it. Like when you embrace your story, it's such a relief and you feel so free and you get to finally live 100% authentically. Because when we are trying to hide parts or sides of our story, it's more draining than actually just being like, you know what, this is who I am, this is what I'm all about. Because we're constantly in fear of like, oh my God, what if someone sees it? Or what if someone asks about it, you know?
Yeah.
So just go ahead and do it. Like post the picture, wear that top or whatever it may be that you're struggling with.
What was the feedback like for you when you posted it on social media?
It was actually really positive. I was surprised. I started weirdly enough gaining a lot of more like followers and like likes, and like I'm not one to care much about followers and likes, but it was just kind of validating that, you know, I took the correct step. And even if that wasn't the case, I was fully ready to embrace my story because I knew that's where my life mission was going, to embrace my story and impact others and show others that it's okay to be different and it's okay to have flaws. And that's when the whole flaunt your flaws came up for me, and that's what I use everywhere and
I love
in
that.
my podcast and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So let's talk a little bit about your struggles. Tell us about a time when you gave up, but now you wish you wouldn't have given up.
That's a really good question. I'm pretty sure like we all go through parts in our life that we have this little voice in our head that's like, you can't do that. Like, who are you to share that part of your story, or who are you to try and inspire people? So for me, when I first started my business, my coaching business, it was like, well, you're still working on your confidence. Who are you to tell other people how to be confident and how to live this incredible life? So I had to learn to kind of hush those voices down and be like, you know what? I'm embracing this. I am ready for this, and I'm ready to start impacting other people's lives and helping them out. And I may not be where I want to be, but I'm definitely ahead of where I was even 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So I can and have the ability to help and teach other women and men out there that their story matters.
That's so cool. Yeah, I love hearing that.
Totally.
I know we talked a little bit about your stuff earlier, some of the hardships that you've had, but can you talk about one story of a hardship that you have faced and where you are with it now?
Yeah. So when I first moved to LA, I moved right out of high school. I was 18. And when I moved, it was by myself. I don't know anyone over here. I don't have family. I didn't have friends at the time out here. So I would go to school, come back, and like just spend time in my apartment with my puppy. And it got so exhausting, and like it made me fall into this pit of depression. And I never wanted to be like clinically titled depressed. I didn't want to take meds for it. I didn't want to go through that. I'm a female. Two, I'm Hispanic. Three, I have a limb difference. I didn't want another title on top of that, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna deal with this however I can. And that ended up with me gaining weight, and I went up to over 200 pounds. And I'm a 5 foot girl, so 200 pounds was like ridiculous. So um I let myself go really bad for 3, 4, 5 years. And it took till last year, January of 2018, for me to look at a photo, and I was like, I am killing myself. What I'm doing is not okay. So I started taking the steps necessary to lose the weight, and it started as something I wanted to do physically. So I wanted to look a certain way or whatever. But through the journey, I realized that there was so much more to physical appearances. And that's when I started doing the whole self-development journey and started doing the mental work, and the physical results just followed. So yeah, I think that answered your question.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people struggle with the whole depression and medication thing.
Mhm.
What would you suggest for somebody else going through that? Do you think that mindset work is enough?
I feel like do what's right for you. I
Right.
mean, for me, it was a personal choice to not go through medication, and like therapy never helped me growing up. So I was just kind of like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to tell a stranger like how I'm feeling. That is nothing for me.
Uh-huh.
And for me, self-development, like getting a trainer and getting a life coach and like listening to motivational podcasts is what helped me and like snapped me into reality.
Right.
We all like have the power to live the life we dream of, and we all have the ability to make that happen. But that looks different for everyone.
Yeah.
So just because medication and therapy wasn't the right choice for me, my best friend, she's been on medication for a long time, and that's what works for her. Right? I know some like smoke and like take weed or whatever, and that works for them. So it just really depends on what feels right for you, and there's no one right way to do it.
Right.
But I think just kind of giving yourself the permission to try different things and find what works for you, what feels right for you, and what actually helps you. And definitely dealing with your feelings. Like don't try and run away from those emotions that you're feeling, because the moment we push them away, they just come back stronger. So
Yeah.
deal with it. Like, and by deal with it, I'm not like, deal with it, but just kind of embrace those feelings and let yourself feel whatever it is. it's so important to allow ourselves to be sad or be mad. We don't have to constantly be happy.
Yeah, I know for a long time I used to struggle with actually feeling the emotions or feeling the
Yeah.
feelings, and I thought it was tougher to just ignore it,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
it's actually tougher to embrace, what you're going through as you're going through it.
definitely. I pride in myself and like I never cry. I haven't cried in like X amount of years.
Right.
And it's not healthy. It's what bottled everything up. And even though I thought I was dealing with it at the time with, writing songs and journaling, like there's a lot more to it. And you have to discover what works for you. Do that self-discovery process. It's so important.
Yep. And I think we're all just doing the best we can do with what we have.
Yeah, definitely. And we all deserve better than what we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about your fitness journey. I had heard that you were working on the one arm push up. Is that right?
Yes, yes. So I used to be able to do unarmed push-ups.
That's so cool.
And then I like went through the whole phase where I wasn't working out and just eating a bunch of junk food and just like didn't take care of my body. So I wasn't able to do them for a while. And now I'm kind of getting back into it. Still not there yet, but
Yeah, that's still pretty darn cool. I can barely do the two-arm push-up, so
totally.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I think it helps that I have some gymnastics background and would do like one-armed cartwheels because there was no possible way for me to do two-armed cartwheels.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, can I ask, what's your relationship status and are you a parent?
So I have a boyfriend. I live with my boyfriend, and we are not parents of a human child, but we are parents of a fur baby.
Nice.
And
What kind?
she's a Pomeranian. She just turned 7 this past month.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, she's cute.
So, have you ever had any struggles dealing with societal norms or expectations related to, getting married or having kids, any of those things?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I said, I'm like 23 years old, and my whole family is Mexican, like I was saying earlier. So now I see all my cousins kind of like younger than me having children and like getting married and stuff, and it's like my aunts and my grandma and like stuff are like, so when are you getting married? When's the child coming? And I'm like, no. Um, I'm pretty sure my sister and I are the only ones without children, except for the little babies in the
Uh-huh.
family. But yeah, it's kind of like
How does that make you feel?
it kind of amuses me, honestly. Like, I just find it funny. It's not, it doesn't worry me. It doesn't make me mad. It's just humorous to me almost.
Uh-huh.
Because that's not the life I'm choosing to live right now. And I don't think anyone should feel pressured into getting in a steady relationship or having children or whatever. Like it doesn't matter how old you are. The
Right.
time comes whenever you're ready. And if you choose to never be in a steady, stable relationship, that's fine. Like do whatever feels right for you. And I'm a firm believer in that. Like if a relationship feels right, go ahead and do that. If children feel right, do that. Like you can't base your life on what society has imprinted in us. And it's a struggle to get out of that mindset, especially because we grew up watching TV and like reading magazines and all this. That's
And the
like,
fairy tales.
oh yeah, fairy tales. So it's just kind of like we need to retrain our mind to be
Yep.
like that is not my truth. And
Right.
when you find out what your truth is and what your morals and values are, everything's gonna shift.
So true. I agree. And I think you do you. Everybody just has to do
Yeah,
what's right for them.
totally. As long as it's not like completely legal.
Right. So agree. So let's switch and talk a little bit about mindset. Tell me about your mindset and how that has led to your badassery.
That's a long journey. It took a lot of reprogramming myself. So when I first went into this self-development journey, I realized I did not know myself at all. And it was draining to be like, okay, I thought I was this person, but I'm not. Like, I don't know who this person is, you know? And realizing that about myself was so shocking almost. And it was a process trying to refine myself and like who I truly was. And what I'm not saying like, oh, I was never the person I thought I was. Like at some point that's the story I told myself. You know, I was a scene kid that wore long sleeves all the time, didn't care what anyone else thought about me, and never cried. So that was the title I put on myself for so many years. And I thought I had to live up to that. So it took a lot of mindset work to be like, that is not who I want to be, and that is not who I am. That is the story that I was telling myself. So when I first started, it was a rough, really, really rough journey, and it's emotional and it's messy, but it's so worth it. It was so worth going through that mindset journey.
Do you have any tips or tricks to help us improve our mindset?
Definitely take some time to meditate and journal. And like before everyone turns it off and being like, oh no, I don't like meditation, listen to this. Meditation isn't like go do yoga or whatever. Meditation can literally be sit in your room and listen to your favorite song. It could be go outside and just like breathe in the fresh air. Whatever feels right, whatever is your kind of meditation, do that. And when I say journal, it could be like actually writing down or record into your phone or just like talk to yourself mentally and figure out, like I was talking about earlier, your truth and your values and your morals. Figure out your non-negotiables.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, just kind of try and find yourself because society has done such a good job at telling us how we should be, what we should like, how we should look. But when we look into ourselves, do we really agree with that? Like, that's a question you really need to ask yourself. Like, do I agree with the plastic surgeries? Do I agree with spending X amount of money on some Gucci or whatever? Like,
Right.
you
And what
need to,
resonates with you? You
right,
know?
totally. And like for me, I like plastic surgery. I think it's such a great tool. But like, and if that's what you think, cool, but don't be doing it because the Kardashians are doing it. Like, if it's something you want to do for yourself, cool. But if it's something you want to do to fit society's norms or what's acceptable or what's considered trendy or pretty, don't do it. It's not worth your integrity. It's not worth your morals, your values. So getting really clear on what those are is the biggest like suggestion, biggest recommendation I could give
Nice.
listeners.
Totally agree. And if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's not going to give you the results that you're looking for anyway.
Totally. Yeah. It doesn't matter how you look physically, it's about the mental work and
Yep,
how you
absolutely.
feel. Yeah.
Totally agree. Can you share with us one of your greatest mindset hacks for confidence and self-esteem?
So I think it has to do with getting really comfortable with yourself. Every part of yourself, the messy side, the worst parts of you are part of you at the end of the day. So getting comfortable with that, embracing those parts of you. And I'm not saying like, oh, you have to settle for those parts. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the moment you start realizing that you do have these quote unquote flaws and these things that are not particularly what you'd like to label yourself as or have, you could start changing them. You could start fixing them. You could start making them better, improving on them. So just become really clear on everything that makes you. So I know for me, I could procrastinate a lot and not get like stuff done. So it took me being like, okay, being very aware of when I was doing it and changing it.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I think you have to, when you're doing it, you have to call it out right then and recognize it and
Oh, yeah.
speak the truth to it, you know?
Yeah, you
because,
have to be so firm.
yep, absolutely. Do you have a mantra or a meditation practice?
So I am a firm believer in affirmations,
Okay.
and I love just kind of like in the morning waking up, and as I'm like brushing my teeth or like whatever I'm doing, if I'm meditating that morning or stretching or whatever, just reminding myself that I am fully worth of anything and everything I desire. And so are you, and so is the listener. Like, we are worthy of everything. So just reminding yourself every single day. And our thoughts are requests that we're making to the universe. So if you're constantly thinking like, I can't do this, I suck, I'm lame, whatever, then the universe is gonna be like, yeah, you are. But if you're constantly feeding yourself the thought of like, I can do this, I got this, I'm good, I'm taken care of, the universe is gonna provide for you.
Nice.
So yeah, affirmations are my go-tos.
Very cool. So let's talk a little bit about tips. Do you have one tip you could share that you wish every female would knew about?
One tip: embracing your femininity. I think one thing you should know about me, I suck at English sometimes. So just embracing like your female side and like everything about you. And it's okay to not be perfect.
Uh-huh.
It's okay to be messy, and it's okay to gain weight, and it's okay to have acne, and it's okay to be different. And every time you find something you don't like about yourself, wave that flag and like wear it proudly. And I'm not saying like things that are damaging to society, but like acne is a big issue with a lot of women.
Yeah.
And I have this thing where every Monday I do no makeup Monday, and then I'll go like a month without makeup. And that's just because before I was so ashamed of leaving my apartment without makeup. I thought I looked disgusting. So I started doing this for myself. So do something that's my tip is do something that scares you. That's going to push you to be better.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And I can resonate with that so much because I always say, let your freak flag fly. Like the one thing that you're
Yes.
uncomfortable with, you just need to own it and let it out there.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
So, how have you embraced your femininity or applied that in your life?
So I've definitely worn a lot more dresses, and I know that's something super physical, but like growing up, I hated wearing dresses because I was like, no, that's like a sign of weakness. I know it sounds so stupid, but I was like, that's a sign of weakness, and like I don't like dresses because I'm too edgy to wear dresses and blah blah blah. So I think like when I first I remember perfectly like when I first started this journey, I went to like the store and bought a pink dress, which was so out there for me. And I
Uh-huh.
never wore the color pink. And now that's basically my whole brand. It's black and pink.
I love that.
Um, yeah, so I don't know, it's something so simple for me that was like, oh my God, wearing pink and having a pink dress on was just out of my comfort zone. But I wanted to push my limits so hard that when I found that nice medium, it was going to not be as extreme.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. So, how do you get inspired and stay motivated?
So staying motivated, I honestly stopped believing in motivation just because motivation dies down so quickly. At least for me, it did. I could be super motivated for a week or a month and then it would die down. So what I started switching was I am determined to see results and I am determined to better my life. So what helps me with that is following people that are like-minded people on social media and surrounding myself with friends that if I need support, I know I could fall back on them. And just kind of like taking time for myself and realizing when I'm hitting that rock bottom to take a break and slow things down to pick myself up. So yeah, I feel like motivation or like determination is very selective. I think that's the right word I'm looking for.
So you choose determination over motivation, is that right? Or that's what
Oh,
works for you?
yeah,
Oh,
100%. And that's just because determination goes the longer way for me. It's like I'm determined to see results and make my life better as compared to like, yeah, I'm super motivated and I'm pumped to do this, and then that dies down within a couple weeks or whatever.
right. I can totally relate to that.
Hmm.
So now let's move into a little bit of rapid fire, some badass advice from you.
Cool.
What was your turning point for accomplishing your goals and becoming a badass?
Definitely when I saw that photo from my 20, 21st birthday. No, 20, whatever birthday. I was just kind of like, yeah, I can't continue killing myself. I need to switch something.
Do you have a morning or an evening routine, and can you share it with us?
Yes, of course. I have both.
Okay.
My morning routine, it changes depending on how much time I have. I'm not the best at waking up at a consistent time. So, depending on my time, it's either, brush my teeth, shower, and all that stuff. And then I have some tea, meditate, stretch, and then I listen to a podcast while I make a smoothie or breakfast. That's my morning routine. It's not perfect all the time, but I try my best.
Yeah.
And at night, I try to do skincare and then read right before bed.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So this kind of just off topic, but what's your favorite podcast?
Oh my God, that's a hard one,
I
but
know.
I go through seasons. Right now, I'm really into The Harmonious Hustle by Nicole Sylvester.
Oh, I'll have
That's
to check
my
it out.
jam right. Oh, it's so good. And her book is incredible too. Yeah, she's cool.
What's one thing that you have learned from a woman in your life?
To just be brave and take chances. Um, my mom is everything to me. She did her best as a mother, and she showed me that by her doing it, that taking risk and just following what feels right and doing what makes you happy is a way to go about life. And that is one of the greatest lessons I've learned.
Very cool. Again, it's, one of those things that our parents are passing
Yeah,
down. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And parents are not perfect and they make mistakes too. And not everything they do is going to be right. But just giving yourself that permission to know that it's okay and that they didn't mean any harm most
Right.
of the
Yeah.
time.
Yep. Can you share a habit or a practice that has contributed to your success?
Yeah, definitely journaling for me. I like shove journaling everyone's throat. It's kind of annoying, honestly, but it's honestly been like a lifesaver. Like when I'm feeling stressed or unaligned, I go to journal and it really centers me. And like anytime I journal, I start writing frustrated and messy. And by the end of it, like my highest self is writing on that piece of paper. And it just really helps me hone into my feelings
Do you,
and express it. Yeah.
do you journal about anything in particular, or is it just kind of a brain dump?
It's basically a brain dump. Sometimes if there's something really good in there, I'll go back and write it on my blog. And you'll notice if anyone ever reads my blog, it's basically what I needed to hear that day.
And what's the name of your blog?
Ladies Code.
Ladies Code. So
Yes.
is it ladiescode.com?
It's
Or
ladiescodeblog.com.
okay, perfect. What do you wish that everyone knew about confidence or overcoming obstacles?
That we all have like the strength to do it within us. There's a higher self in every single one of us that is waiting for you to let her or him out. So you have the confidence in you. We just need to pull that out and let that confidence lead the way as compared to all the stories society has told us.
Great. So, Ruby, how often do you read? And can you please share or recommend a book and why?
Yeah, so I used to never read. And this year I was like, you know what? I'm going to read at least one book a week. That has not happened. I've read maybe 5 books this year, but now I'm getting back into reading every night. I stopped reading for about a month, but that's not the point. I'm trying to read every night again. And right now I just finished the book Oh Shift by Nicole Sylvester.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Oh, it's so good. It shook me to the core. Like, it was so good. And I definitely recommend everyone reading that. And if you're not into very plot twisty books, then I recommend A Tribe Called Bliss by Lori Harder.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to check those out. So let's end with a tip to empower women, and if you'll share how the audience can connect with you.
Yeah, totally. So a tip to empower women. Can I curse in your podcast?
Sure.
All right. So I'm just going to leave it up. Bitch, you got this. You so got this. Yeah. I hope that was a good tip. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
how
then,
can the audience connect with you?
Yeah, so you could connect with me on all social media. I'm at Rubi Skilton, RubiSkilton. You can listen to my podcast. It's Flaunt Your Floss, and ladiescodeblog.com for my blog. And if you guys are into paranormal, I have a paranormal podcast.
Oh, nice. What's that called?
Yeah, it's called Embrujado, which means haunted in Spanish.
Can you spell that for me?
Yes, it's EMBRUJANDO.
Okay, great. We'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah, thank you so much, Ruby. You have been a total badass. I've really enjoyed getting to know you and hearing your story. With that, we'll end our show. And for all of you badass women out there staying in the arena, whatever you're doing, just own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.